Blessed be chaotic cryptids. This is B.
This is Sarah. You're listening to the Like You Know Bruh podcast.
And this is Cass. Welcome to our 8th episode.
Or 7th.
Oh, god damn it!
No, we're keeping that. But guys, it's actually our 7th episode. So, what are we doing today?
We're talking about haunted objects, cursed objects.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. So I have a few questions, and we can always, like we did that one time, we can bring Kai in to have him kind of give us some maybe insight or whatever. I guess the first question would be, what even makes something haunted or cursed? Is it the history, the energy attached, the belief? Can anything become cursed if enough people believe it is? And I think I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast, but I've spoken to some people, and I don't know who specifically, but with cryptids or cursed objects and stuff like that, sometimes they come about because a lot of people believe or create it in a sense. Kind of like that episode of Natural.
Yeah, we actually, I know you and I have discussed this, where it's like, it is a real concept in some lines of belief that if enough people believe in something, it does create, in a way, that entity, energy, whatever. I do think, though, with haunted items, with cursed items, I am more likely to believe something is haunted or cursed if they get rid of it quickly, right? Because sometimes you see people that have this whole line of videos on something that's haunted or cursed, and I'm like, no, because why is that still in your house? It would not take me long to be like, oh, look, the doll moved, and now it's at Goodwill. Or maybe not Goodwill. That's kind of messed up. For the next person.
You know what? You can mail it to the White House.
Yeah, we'll just mail it to the White House. Just a constant stream.
Every time we get a haunted object, hey guys, happy holiday. I don't know.
I actually love that idea. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, it's too bad Annabelle wasn't actually missing.
Yeah, I looked that up this morning. I was kind of, because that's such a fun thought, right? That a cursed or haunted object goes on a little road trip. I enjoyed that rumor, and then it was gone. It was taken away from me by actual information today. So,
dang, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. It's okay. I don't want to piss Annabelle off. So, girl,
no, because if she does go missing, I don't want her to be.
Please don't come for me.
Yeah, don't.
I didn't do nothing. I'm going to say that my belief as far as cursed objects go and how they become cursed or haunted is the traditional belief that same thing with when you have a ghost, there is such an intense emotion that happens at the time of either the time of death or in the vicinity of it. I don't know the whole story behind Annabelle, but my theory is, I had this voodoo doll, right? And this fake voodoo. This is actually a supernatural memorabilia, by the way.
Yeah.
But say something tragic happens in the house or near this object, that could cause a haunting or a cursed thing to come about. That's my theory. Or if this was something that was very, very, very important to me, an object that is very important to someone emotionally, and something tragic. It's always, in my opinion, in my theory, it's something tragic or very, very high emotion or high energy happens that causes something to become haunted or cursed.
Yeah, because I can definitely see a very precious item, like you were saying, something that was very, very important to someone. And then, they pass away and part of them is still attached to whatever that was. I also find, this idea of emotional echoes very interesting when it comes to haunting and stuff like that. But I don't know about you, because I love to go to antique stores and thrift shops and all that good stuff. And occasionally I'll come across something and I'm just like, there's no way that would ever enter my home.
That's
Like, that is
definitely
the
haunted.
Yeah, like that is the most cursed thing. Because sometimes people will show like their cursed item. We watch a lot of videos. It's like Nukes Top 5. I know I've mentioned this. And they'll show the item. They'll be like, this item turned out to be cursed. And I'm like, well, yeah,
Obviously.
Yeah. That has everything but a sign. What do you mean you're surprised? What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. I've seen this was way back a couple years ago, and I think it was when I was still within the Christian faith. I stumbled across these these videos on YouTube about Dybbuk boxes, and I hope
Yeah,
those things, they're freaky. I will never fuck with them. There was this one guy who like opened one in his house, and I'm like, don't don't mess with it, because you are crazy. You don't know what you're opening or what you're releasing. You don't know what was put in that thing. There was a reason that somebody did what they did.
Well, that's the thing. I'm always going to be team leave that sealed, right? If there's any sort of like symbols, any sort of like wax seal, something that someone clearly put a lot of time and effort into sealing, I trust you. I don't know who you are, person who did this, but clearly something was bad enough that you took however many hours to painstakingly paint symbols and seal something. And I believe you. Whatever it is.
I don't even have to have met you. If I'm like those videos of people finding stuff in lakes and oceans and being like, ooh, what's in here? There's some nails in here. And I'm like, why are you opening that? No.
I know, it's always like a sealed jar. This just goes back to things that are so clearly not meant to ever be touched again.
Yes.
And you see people fishing out what is very clearly like a hex jar that was fed to a river. And they're like, oh, well, what is this? And they're shaking it and they're trying to open it. That would never even occur to me.
Nope.
I'd just be like, let me put some leaves over this and kind of move along my day. It would I'm never opening it.
No. Never. I'll mind my business, thank you. Like, it's just like when people find obvious fae traps in the wild and they're like, oh my god. Although there are some that I might get.
Yeah, I get tempted. I'm not gonna lie. With those, I get tempted.
Yes. But like,
tired of
mind your business. Just guys, mind your business. If you find anything that looks even remotely questionable, err on the side of caution. It never hurts to overreact. Never hurts. It always hurts to underreact. Or not always.
It never hurts to leave it alone. Exactly. You're right. I think that's the thing. Like, because there are people that purposefully go on eBay or whatever and they pick up these things and it's like,
what are you doing? Like, I know someone who ordered a haunted phone and like a haunted necklace or cursed. I think it was haunted, but I'm just like, no. Keep that away. Keep that far away from me. I'm not going to do it because I don't even mess with Ouija boards, okay?
Right.
I love the aesthetic, and I've told a few people this already, but like I love the look of a Ouija board. I love the planchette. I have things that they have the not patterns, but like you know what I'm saying. Like I have things with a Ouija board aesthetic on it, but I will never bring one into my home, just because I'm not. For me personally, I'm not to the level of witchcraft where I feel comfortable, feel like I know enough to protect myself should something happen. There are people who, like Sarah, I think that you could successfully pull it off because you are very well versed in witchcraft, but I'm not to that level, so I would not mess with it because I would not do it properly and something would get through.
Well, I think that's kind of like the overarching thing because I'm not a big Ouija board girly. But I do think that that's kind of the overarching thing. If you don't really understand something, if you don't know how to put it back, don't get it out. And if you don't understand something, maybe don't play with it.
All that comes to mind is put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Yeah, or
So
so
help
help
me.
me. Because that's what I always think when people are in the woods getting something out of a tree that's like a poppet. And I'm like,
It's there for a reason.
why would you even
Why would you even
touch it? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. Here's the absolute other thing in the most practical, logical sense.
Mhm.
There could be anything in that, on that, you don't know. Like people,
Girl, especially in a jar.
yes, people use their blood in certain spells and shit like that. Like you don't know what you're messing with. I'm not gonna touch it because I'm not trying, in the most like pragmatic, logical sense, I'm not trying to get sick or get a disease because I touched your blood.
Well, that's the thing, especially with things like hex jars or curse jars, things like that. People put some really, really gross stuff in there because that's the point, right? You're surrounding whoever with like all this gross negativity. And yeah, there can be blood, there can be other biological fluids. We'll say that you maybe you don't want to just splash on yourself. People will even use poisonous herbs that now have been sitting in a liquid for you don't know how long, and you're now splashing that potentially on your skin.
Yeah, and there's things that like. Go ahead.
I just said, what are you gaining from this experience?
Exactly. Well, there's also chemical reactions because I know that you have, and I'm not a not biologist, I'm not a chemist or anything, but like when you put nails in stuff, and then you're using all of these other materials, you don't know what could over time cause different weird chemical reactions. So it's just leave it. PSA, if you're listening to this, just leave it alone.
Do not go in caves and leave that weird jar alone. That's
it.
Do not go in caves and
We're
leave that
gonna have
weird
to-
jar alone.
We're gonna have to make a handbook. Just like
Yeah, we'll have shirts. When we
just
make
say
it
don't
big,
go in caves.
when we make it big, we're gonna have memorabilia, and it's gonna have Squonk on it. It's gonna have a shirt that says "Do not go in caves and leave that weird jar alone."
Yeah, leave the jar alone. I do. I struggle. I think it makes sense for me when like a cynic will order something cursed or haunted, right? To look at it from a scientific point of view because they don't really believe in it.
No.
But if you're someone who's like, oh, I get weird feelings, I get bad feelings, like, and you do believe in it, I do not understand why you would
mess with it
ever
still. Yeah.
invite something. And again, it all goes back to just you don't understand and what does finding out do to better your life.
I mean, they didn't create that F around and find out phrase for no reason.
Yeah, I appreciate people who do it because again, I like watching the videos, but
well, see, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, because there are cursed objects that, like, if you even look at the image, it can cause like you to have bad juju, and I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't want to. You what?
I think a lot of that is kind of
okay, psychosomatic.
Yeah, I do because I'll watch like I'll definitely see things that'll give you like that creep up your spine, and you're just like and you kind of shiver and shake it off. But I'll see on TikTok, especially, someone will like show an image, and a lot of times too, it'll so clearly be like AI or like nothing. Some people will just like post an image of a dark room, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I see it," and I'm like, "No, you don't. No, you don't, because there's nothing there." And
tell me where it's at.
You'll see a lot, like what I feel is an oddly large number of people that feel like they have to say like, I claim no negative energy from this. And here's
you in the name of Jesus.
This might just be like a personal grievance I have. but it gives like and share if you love Jesus, scroll past if you hate him.
Yeah.
Like it's
It
very much that weird Facebook thing that like your aunt shares. Like Jesus is scrolling Facebook all day, seeing who liked the post.
Exactly. Oh,
So he could
you
be like, James, I thought we were
scrolled right
friends,
past.
but you scrolled. Now you're going to the bad place.
How dramatic. Can
Yeah.
you imagine? So dramatic.
Like on one hand, I can get behind that level of petty. That's kind of funny, but yeah, I do. I see a lot of people looking at just stuff on TikTok saying I claim no negative energy, and it reminds me of that lady who was talking about how TVs are portals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that when you watch something, you're inviting. I think it was Hocus Pocus 2 specifically, which cracked me up, right?
Yes, because it was something about like if you're inviting it to come into your house. I don't know, man. There was some innuendos in there at some point.
Yeah. Oh no, I really enjoyed a lot of the follow-ups where people were showing what they were trying to invite in their house through their demon portal they just learned about.
Yes. Mine would be Jensen Ackles, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Because we would both rewatch Supernatural, I think, if that were on the table.
Specific episodes. There are some things from Supernatural I would prefer to stay in the show, but like there's some scenes
we would definitely be, I think, reading the recap before we open the thing. But like,
I just want to say one specific scene, and then I'll let you finish. I'm so sorry, but I have to say one specific scene would be when Dean, and you probably know the scene, but when Dean is driving the car, or he's like backing out, and he's like whipping it around and like flipping it back. Yes,
I do know that.
I knew you knew it.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry.
Because it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't really care about it, and then for like 15 seconds, I very deeply cared. But yeah, I think I'm not saying it's impossible, I guess, for energy to be transferred through a screen in some way, because again, I'm not self-absorbed enough to think, oh, I understand everything about everything, and I know how everything works. So this is very impossible or very possible. I don't think I have the final say on anything. But I mean, guys, if you're watching a video and it's very clearly AI, you don't need to protect yourself against
I'll say
nothing.
I think the people who do that are mostly of a certain demographic.
I agree.
A certain voting demographic who cannot tell when AI is fake.
Well, that's the truth of it. And don't get me wrong, AI is becoming sometimes creepily realistic, right?
Yeah.
There are things you need to, I find, look for that will help you identify AI videos. Like if they blink at a specific time every time and kind of start doing there's a little bit of an uncanny valley.
Yes.
About that. But I do think that there are certain creators that will they'll share a picture or a video of nothing, but it looks very dark, and underneath it's like when you see it. But what that is for engagement, right?
Yeah.
They want people in the comments talking about whether they saw it. They want people watching the video 800 times, peering into the darkness, trying to see if a shadow moves. Yep. It's all about engagement. So if you see something like that, there's really no need to not claim the negative energy. You can actually just scroll too. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can just keep it moving. You don't even have to watch the video. I don't claim any negative energy.
Oh man. Well, so what I wanted to say in relation to that is I think for our it's just a silly little comment about it. When we post for a teaser for this episode, let's just post a very vague picture and say, "Do you see it?"
I'll take like a random picture of like under a desk or something, and we'll just be like,
Yes.
when you see it, when you see it.
Yeah, we're gonna
No.
do that. I think that'll be a good one. That'll bring people in, and we'll
No,
put in there
honestly-
something about. I'm so sorry. We'll put in there something about like listen to this week's episode, and you'll find out what was there.
Right, and then it'll be like,
Jokes on you. Thank you for
But-
watching.
honestly though, at the same time, because it does always make me giggle when someone's like, I claim no negative energy. And also, I guess if it makes you feel better, do it, right? Who cares? It's also not hurting me. It's just not
Exactly.
something that I would personally feel the need to type out. So I mean, go ahead and do you. Do what makes you feel comfortable and safe and protected, and that's fine. It's just
It's not me.
there's nothing there, and that's fine.
Nothing there. I can't see anything.
That's fine too. Because back in the
Um,
good old days, there used to be the red circle. Remember, there used to be.
Yes. We don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and if there's no red circle, I'm not. This is not Where's Waldo. I have not played I
Not trying
Spy in years and years.
I'm not trying to squint, struggle to find it. I'm good. I'll go to the
Stay
comments,
a
like
secret.
I'll go to
Yeah,
the comments to see if somebody found it and if they can tell me where it is. But after a few scrolls, and if I can't find something that says where it's at, I'm good. I'm scrolling right past. Goodbye. On to the next video.
yeah. You know, it reminds me like years ago on Facebook, there was this. I'm sorry, this is a tangent. I know, but there was a picture that looked like that, but it was just a hula hoop leaning against a
Yes.
bed.
Yes,
Everyone shared it, and they were like, "I can't see what the circle."
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these feel like. Like there's just nothing there. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of see why you would want to getting back on track just suddenly with no
It's okay. It's who we are. It's fine.
I see the curiosity. I see the kind of looking for proof that could lead to you buying specifically like an item that's haunted.
Mhm.
So that you could kind of just see for yourself. Like I understand that. But I will never understand opening something that was sealed. Like I can understand being like, oh,
There's
I
a
want to
haunted
see if the
phone.
doll really moves. I want to see, if the carousel really turns on by itself or whatever.
Yeah, but finding something or spending money on something that is because people buy Dybbuk boxes, they have to buy them. Spending money on something like that is wild. I don't want to say crazy. It's not crazy. I don't want to say it's crazy. It's wild to me. But
It's not what I would do.
it's not what I would do. It's not anything I would ever do. Like buying a haunted phone and buying a haunted necklace it's one thing. But yeah, no, for something that's sealed, there's a
Yeah.
reason that thing was sealed. Somebody didn't want whatever was in it to get out.
No, I would like when people buy I say I like it. That's a weird way to put it. But if someone like buys something like that and documents it, I find that very interesting.
It is.
But I am confused by people who specifically buy something sealed, because even if you're getting something on eBay, right? I'm sure there are people that go around and make fake versions of these so that they can sell them, where they kind of,
Oh yeah.
replicate the look of it. And I'm sure they do that with like haunted and cursed stuff too, right? I'm sure there's a bazillion things that people just got at a thrift store, slapped the word cursed on, and sold it for $40 or whatever. It feels like a lot of effort. I watched someone who got one of those quote unquote dark web boxes, right?
I used
Where
to watch
people
the-
get like a box of Goodwill stuff
Mhm.
with some sprinkles of paint on it or whatever. And they're like,
Yes.
but But it was a box that was sealed with wax. It didn't look like a Dybbuk box, which I believe is pretty. I believe that is of the Jewish faith.
Yes,
But
yes.
it was clearly something that was meant to be. First of all, it was fake, right? Because all the other stuff in the box was just the dumbest stuff you've ever seen. But even if everything else in the box was the dumbest stuff I'd ever seen, I'd still leave that one box sealed.
It's sealed. It's sealed because,
Leave it alone.
like we were talking, like the thing is, bringing it back to like energy that brings about that stuff. Like you don't know what type of energy was expelled around any of those objects. It could be a little army man.
Yeah.
And if something really traumatic or emotionally charged happened near or on or around that army man, like that army man could be cursed. You don't know.
Cass, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry.
I don't remember.
It'd be like that.
Well, even if it's not right, like even if it's not actually cursed, and you all of a sudden, it could make you really paranoid and uncomfortable in your own home if you are a believer or even someone who just wonders about it. And then for the next week, every tiny creak in your home, you're like, oh, I should have left that box alone.
Yeah.
Should have left that box alone.
Yeah. It just my big thing is with even with like just witchcraft or anything like metaphysical, it's a lot of it has to do with belief. Believing that something, like, you can, if you believe it, then it's gonna happen type thing. It's almost like you're manifesting it, but not in a way that you want. Thinking about it so much that you're manifesting it to become a real thing.
Absolutely, right? Because a lot of, in my personal opinion, internet, a lot of witchcraft for me is ritualized manifestation.
Yes.
A lot of it is. And you're right. Manifestation can go both ways because what you focus on, you get more of. So, if you've got to know yourself enough to think, hey, is this going to freak me out and bother me? And as it bothers me, am I going to get more freaked out and more freaked out until all of a sudden I think my house is haunted when it's fine and nothing has changed whatsoever? But
I'm just hearing things a little bit more.
Yeah, because you start paying attention to it. That's where your focus flows, the energy grows type of thing. That's the thing. It's those tiny creaks that your house just made that you ignored for years and years and years. All of a sudden, those are the loudest things you've ever heard, And it's like, don't do it to yourself. Is what I know.
Well, and there, just to kind of toss in there, the other day I saw, this trend on TikTok of like, type in book boyfriend in the search bar and you'll get who your book boyfriend is. Type this in and you'll figure out who this and that. And so one of them I think was like, I don't remember what the caption or the title of it was, but it was like, put this in your search bar and you'll find this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went into the search bar and I typed it in, and there was this one video that was like, it was like hidden. It was like, do you still want to watch it type thing? Because it was maybe inappropriate or whatever. I was like, well, I'm intrigued now. You got me. And I clicked watch anyway, and like not even a millisecond into the black and white image, hallway door creaked open and someone laying in the bed. I'm like, nope. I'm not the person. I am the person that if I watch those things, I'm gonna start hearing those things and freaking out. Right. So I try not to watch spooky stuff. If I do watch spooky stuff, it's in the mornings because I know myself well enough to know that if I watch, it's gonna be manifested into my brain hole.
Well, that's the thing, right? For me, it's one thing, like, because Cass and I will watch videos together. And it's one thing for me to, like, watch a ghost video with somebody where you can, like, have a little hee-hee, ha-ha, and then it's not that serious. But when I'm by myself and, like, the lights are off and I just have my candles burning, nope.
Mm-mm.
That's not for me. Those don't even exist to me
Nope.
during those times because I'm not trying to focus on.
I'm not trying to do that. And the thing
I'm
it
not.
it goes with like with ghost hunting. Like I would love to go on a ghost hunt, but I
Yeah.
am not doing it by myself.
No, no. I would
Never.
not even be one of those people that would be like, okay, BB, go sit in this room with, the blindfold on by
Absolutely
yourself. No, no, we're not doing that.
No. You can ask me. The answer will always be no.
As it should be. As it should be. They're like,
White people shit. Like I know ghost hunting is white
Yeah.
people shit in general, but like that's taking it a step into even more white people shit.
well, you see that all the time, right? There are people in their ghost hunting shows, and they'll like, and it always seems to be the same person from their team where they're like, oh, we actually don't care about Jimmy that much, so we always sit him away
Poor Jimmy.
for Jimmy. And
Justice
then
for
this
Jimmy.
person just goes and sits in the dark.
Oh, oh
I thought,
man.
not this bitch. Mm-mm,
Not
never. No
me.
thanks.
Never me.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh,
And we
man.
don't
Sarah,
have a
I've-
Jimmy of our group. We actually like everybody here, so we don't.
It can be Jimmy. Or little.
Yeah, we could leave the little supernatural doll in the room and just be like, report back, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, I think you're safe. You're a puppet. It's a plushy puppet, but
One of
nonetheless.
those little GoPro helmets.
Yes!
Jimmy.
Okay, this is Jimmy. We love Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Is that his name now, officially?
That's his name now. He has not been named until today.
Nice.
Which is funny because wasn't Castiel's, because we were talking about Supernatural.
What? No, it was Steve.
His real name was Jimmy.
No, I think
Wasn't
it was
it?
Jimmy.
No, his name was okay. His name was Jimmy, but then he played a character. He was also there's an episode where he's like a cashier in at a gas station, and his name is Steve. He's got a little Steve. I think I had a pop figure of Castiel Steve.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess we'll go on to the next question. So the next question we have is, have you or anyone you know ever owned something that gave off bad vibes? Could be purely psychological or legit creepy. We can share stories. Even small things like thrifted jewelry, hand-me-downs. I think I mentioned this, that I do know someone who's she's into the witchy stuff too. And so she's purchased haunted stuff online on eBay a lot, and she's the only person that I know, well, other than, so she's the only person that I know that has purchased stuff like that. I don't know anybody else who, like, I've never gotten any icky vibes from things other than that whenever I would stay the night with Cass, when I was little, there was that creepy doll that sat at the foot of the bed, and like I was very uncomfortable. I want to say it was like a plushy doll, but I can't remember specifically. It was like a little bit of a toddler doll.
If it's the doll I'm thinking of, it was in a red velvet dress. Is that the one you don't remember any details?
I just remember being creeped out by it. I'm not gonna lie, because
think-
it was like at the foot of the bed off to the left. So when you're on the bed, it was to the left at the foot next to like the wall or the corner of the wall or something.
Mm-hmm. I think I know which doll you're talking about, but no, that one was just a little creepy, but that's not the one that fucked with me. Is it time for the doll story?
Is there a follow-up story there? Or
I think it's time for the doll story, Cass.
Okay, first I had to double check that I was actually unmuted on OBS. So I don't remember where the doll came from. I want to say it was one that Grandma got me. It was like this porcelain doll, but also a stuffed. It was weird. It was like part porcelain, part stuffed, and it had like this powder blue dress, and so I remember putting it on this shelf that I had on my dresser, and I had gone to school, and Dad would take me to school, drop me off, go to work, and then he'd either pick me up from the little after school thing, or I would ride the bus home. And on this day, I was riding the bus home, which means there was no way, even if my dad was the kind of guy to pull practical pranks, like, he
was
wouldn't
not.
have been
Spoiler
home.
alert. Yeah.
So I get off the bus, I go in, this fucking doll is sitting on the end of my bed facing the doorway.
I'm gonna vomit.
Um,
I'm gonna throw up.
throw up. So I was like, excuse me, no. So I took it. Huh?
Excuse me, could you please leave? People who know 21 Pilots, they'll get that reference. People who are big fans, they'll get it.
So I took the doll and I took it out of my room into Dad's room, brought a chair in, put it on the shelf in the top of his bedroom closet behind a bunch of shit. Right? Now, he still isn't home, by the way. He has no idea I am putting this doll back behind a bunch of shit. So even if he was the prankster, even if he was the kind to do this kind of stuff, he wouldn't know where I put it. So I go on about my day. Next day, same thing. He takes me to school. I ride the bus home. Girl, when I tell you that doll was on the corner of the bed closest to the doorway, facing the doorway again.
It's a no from me, dog.
I could not tell you what happened to the doll after that. That is the last memory I have of that doll, is seeing it on the corner of the bed and me being like, fucking no. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I threw it in the garbage. I don't know if I threw it in the woods behind the house. I don't know. It was gone after that.
Yeah.
Like, I probably
I would burn it.
Like, yeah, I probably blocked it out, honestly. But yeah, so dolls of any kind, but especially porcelain dolls.
Now, Sarah and I were talking about this the other day because there are some videos that pop up on my feed every now and again, my For You page.
Mm-hmm.
Regular, just plain old porcelain dolls are creepy, and I do not consent to them being in my but there are these dolls that keep popping up unrelated to the top. I mean, sort of related but unrelated. They're specifically designed to look creepy. I can accept those. Like, they're dressed in like gothic type attire, and they have makeup on. Those I can do, but and I'll have to send you a video.
Like, that kind of reminds me of how I am with clowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, genuinely, like, sharp teeth and scary clowns, I'm fine with. Mm-hmm. But you put fucking Bozo the Clown in front of me, my heart starts racing, I get sweaty, I am anxious as hell. Like, mm-hmm. I went to a fair one time, and there was a little mini circus there, and there was like these metal benches, and there was a clown, and a whole circus thing, and I'm just like gripping the bleachers the whole time. Oh, no. Like, so tight that it was like, there was like that indentation from gripping so tight. Yeah. And by the time we walked away, I was trembling so bad, I felt like I was gonna vibrate across the ground. I didn't even feel like I needed to step. I felt like I was just gonna vibrate down the fucking aisle.
Do you remember, and this is not related to anything haunted, only purely clowns, there was a summer camp or like a church thing, I don't know what it was, but I went with you one time to this weird summer camp thing where they were teaching us how to do clown makeup and dress like. Do you remember that?
Are you talking about, it was, I want to say it was the after school program that Dad's work did?
It probably was. I just remember going
like
somewhere
with this. Do you remember if the building was like this big old open pavilion type building? Yeah.
There was like it was like
Yeah.
a red. I think there was like a red like brick type area maybe, but I remember there being a pavilion. I remember there being a fence and there being a field, but I remember us being inside, sort of. I don't know. I remember going somewhere with you where they taught us how to be a
think that's where
clown.
it was, because I think I
Okay.
remember that, and I was not having a good time the entire
And they said,
time.
like, I know because of that moment. I just know that you're not supposed to use anything pointy or like sharp points with your clown makeup because it can scare kids. You have to use rounded
The
shapes and stuff. I
rounded shit
remember
is
that.
what freaks me out. The constant
Doesn't bother me.
smiles creeps
Yeah.
me out. No one should be that happy all the time. I'm sorry. The world is shit. What are you happy about?
I mean, I get it. Clowns never really freaked me out. But yeah, I'm trying to, porcelain dolls have been the thing that freaks me out the most, but yeah, getting back on topic. Sorry, I just had to go off a bit and whatnot. But yeah, porcelain dolls, just regular porcelain dolls. No, thank you.
My
Ooh,
great grandmother,
I have
when
something
we-
after you're done.
sorry, my
No,
great
you're good.
grandmother was still alive. She had used to own an antique store, and all the stuff from the antique store was like in her garage, right? Like there was like jewelry and old,
Are you
like,
good, Kat?
fabric
No.
flowers.
We don't
Why are
keep
you not
antique
good?
shit in the garage. What are you talking about? No. I'm saying no because that keeping antique stuff, just a bunch of antique stuff in the garage, just sounds like a horrible idea. That's
Well,
asking.
that's what our house was like too, right? You'd go in and there was like a little parlor area where there was a glass container with just old shit. And when you went into her living room, there was like an old piano, of course, and then just porcelain dolls that lined the fireplace, the shelves, just a little army
No,
watching you. And
no.
yeah, when she passed away, we went, for some reason we're at her house. Like we slept there. We were part of the family that was put in her house to wait for the funeral.
Hey,
And,
y'all go sleep in the dead person's house.
Yeah, we got to sleep there. And I have very rarely been as freaked out as I was at that age in the house where someone passed away and you're waiting for their funeral, and you're just surrounded by all of this old dusty.
And you know some of those items are haunted. They have, because if they're in front of an antique store, they have to, at least one or two have to be haunted.
Yeah, there's no way that none of that stuff had anything funky in it.
Going on.
Because even the garage felt not even like dangerous or foreboding, right? But weird.
Yeah.
Like every room in that house felt just a little off.
No.
Yeah, we did not.
Well, there's this, I don't remember the specific place. It might be the Lizzie Borden house. I'm also could be, we know my memory is not great. I've already messed up 3 stories in one. We know how I am. So this is likely wrong. But there is a haunted place that has a room full of dolls. And I remember watching a video of someone, I don't remember who it was, but they go into that room, and I think one of my friends, I'm gonna cut that part out because I don't want her name said, unless she's okay with it. But I think one of my friends, I went to visit her one time, and she was watching a video of these people who do quote unquote ghost hunts, and they went to that place, and there was dolls. It's just a room full of dolls. I'll have to find it and send it to you guys. But no, if it's specifically a haunted place and there is a room full of dolls, no.
Well, it's like that island, right? Wasn't there an island?
Yes, there is an island. Are you good, Cass? Are you freaked out by the
I
island?
was trying to figure out the house you were talking about. Just kind of doing some in recording fact checking, and all that comes up is titles like "Hidden House in the Woods Filled with Creepy Dolls," inside cursed home filled with 1,000 dolls, heartbroken
Because
mom.
how do y'all know about the hidden
Hundreds
house? When we say leave it alone, that is exactly what we mean.
Have we learned
House
nothing?
filled with creepy dolls, go home.
Like, I just wanted the famous house that had one room full of dolls, and they're like, oh, you want a full house full of nothing but creepy dolls, a house full, just thousands and thousands. No,
You're like, no.
I don't.
You know what, though? Speaking of creepy places, if anyone who's listening to this has had the same experience, please drop a line down in the comments, because one of the few times where I have been places where I have been distinctly uncomfortable was in the Biltmore house.
You went.
Yeah, I've been to the Biltmore house.
What is the Biltmore
and there's
house?
a place, huh?
You'll have to explain what it is to me after you finish your little story.
Well, I mean, it's a famous. It was basically a mansion and a little town, all owned by the Biltmore family. And if you go into the house, there is a place where there's like a swimming pool basically in the basement, or there's a setup for like a swimming area in the basement. And I have never wanted to leave a room as badly as I wanted to leave that room in the Biltmore. And there were a couple of places too, actually, in the mansion where I was just like, oh, I don't like it. I don't care for this. This,
Did it have? Was it one of those pools that were like empty?
yeah.
See, no thanks. I don't know. That's like one of those liminal spaces to me. Like back rooms type shit.
It was, but honestly, the whole basement kind of felt like I shouldn't be there. Like maybe no one should ever be there again. But especially that room, it was such a heavy, like gross.
Don't be here. Go away.
Don't be here. And I was like looking around, like, hey, does anyone else feel like maybe we fucked up by walking in?
So anybody listening, please leave a comment because this will be on YouTube and Spotify. Leave a comment if you felt something like that, if you've gone there.
Because the reason I brought it up is years later I was talking to a friend and we were talking about the Biltmore house. And I was like, except for in the basement. And they went, that swimming pool room, right? And I was like, yeah, that swimming pool room, because what was going on there? And so it was just interesting to find someone that later was just like, oh, yo, no.
Me too. Oh, man.
Vindication.
All right. So our next one is, and it kind of brings us back to like haunted objects, since that's our thing. Why do we think people keep haunted objects?
I think there's a huge curiosity around, obviously, the paranormal, the metaphysical. There's a huge kind of like, well, let's just see, right? It's also it's a glimpse into what happens to us after we pass on, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of as close as we can get to, it's not a Ouija board, but let me bring the ghost to me and kind of see if I can get a glimpse of what the afterlife looks like.
Yeah, which is crazy. Okay, I don't like to use the word crazy. It's wild. Because I would choose using a Ouija board over messing with a sealed Dybbuk box. Because those are typically those are reserved for very negative, very bad, in my very limited, uneducated knowledge of Dybbuk boxes. Those are reserved for like demons and like bad spirits and shit like that. Whereas a Ouija board, if you handle it properly, you're safe. Whereas Dybbuk boxes, if you fuck with it, you run the risk of releasing something negative.
Well, that's the thing. I actually, at the end of the day, I understand kind of owning a haunted item. Like I said, there's a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of people want to know for sure, right? So I understand bringing in, for other people, I understand bringing in like a haunted doll or something that you could watch and observe and kind of get a firsthand look at.
Mhm.
That I personally I would never understand bringing in something that someone felt was dangerous enough to be sealed in, or even like a cursed object, because curse is so vague,
Yeah.
right? Like, curse could be anything. You could just like be itchy forever, I guess, or
Yeah. I mean, honestly. Well, so here's what I'll say is if we're speaking to our audience a lot today, which is great. I love it. So if anybody listening has personal insight into the mentality that goes into purchasing these things or seeking these things out, please leave a comment. Obviously, anything, we'll have our social medias and our email at the, but definitely,
especially if you or someone has like a curse or haunted item.
Collection.
Yeah.
Or story. If you
Why
have
did
stories
you do
like, why are you doing that? She's like, why are you doing that? Please write in and tell us why. And tell us, like, also, if like with the Biltmore, if you have a story or an experience, please write that in. We want to hear it. We want to read it if you're comfortable, like 100%. But all right, so we had a little tiny potty break just now. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that I don't remember what was being said before we took our little break. So we're just going to kind of move on.
We were asking people to send in stories or send in their thoughts on why people collect haunted objects.
Okay. Yeah. So just send it in. All of our stuff is going to be at the end of this episode, and you can leave a comment, etc., etc. So the next talking, I almost want to hold. I mean, I'm going to say it, but I almost want to hold off on going in depth to it because I feel like it can spin off to other episodes. But the next one is famous haunted objects. I think I want that to be an episode where we each cover
a whole episode of that. Yeah.
Exactly, because obviously the Dybbuk box is mentioned.
And we touched on Annabelle.
Yeah, and Annabelle's mentioned. Robert the doll. I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah. That's the little sailor boy doll. He's got like a wooden face. Yeah.
Yes, Annabelle died.
Oh, yes. And then the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond is also. And then we'll find we can do is we can we'll make that a future episode where we just talk about haunted objects. We'll pick one that's interesting to us, and kind of cover it in depth. And then this next topic is another thing that can lead into another that we wanted to talk about. It's how to cleanse or protect yourself from haunted/cursed stuff.
You could not buy it and bring it home. That's
not. Well, honestly, I didn't. Did you read the whole thing that I sent you? Because it's literally it's 3 points. The top one says salt, iron, sage, prayers, or more intense rituals. The second object, or the second ballpoint or whatever, says, or just don't bring it home in the first place.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. That's what I think all the time, though. Like, when people find stuff in the woods, I'm like, for the love of God, do not bring that in your house.
Leave it alone. And then the third one is any weird rituals you'd personally try or already do. But like I said, we'll make that a future episode, kind of dive into different ways to, and Sarah, that'll probably be an episode that you have to lead, where we talk about protection, different objects or things that you can do to protect yourself, not even just from cursed objects, but from negative energies and stuff like that. So that'll be a future episode that's led by you, Sarah. And here is our final question, then we'll go on to like 2 little last mini points. And I think I already know the answer for all of us for this. would you ever purposely own an haunted would you ever purposefully own a haunted object? I can't speak. You know what I'm trying to say. My words are stumbling. But no, I think the answer is no for all of us.
So the only way I could ever see myself purposefully owning cursed objects is if I got to the place where I had multiple properties, and I would make, I think, for the people, a haunted Airbnb.
Ooh, that's a good
just
idea.
Just for people like us who like maybe want to dip their toes in a haunting, give it like a weekend to record.
Each room has a different theme. You've got porcelain dolls. You've got
each room has a different theme. I would do something for that, but even I would only spend a weekend in that house with like you guys, and then I'd probably never go inside again. So yes, but not like in my personal space that I have to look at every day. No.
All right, here. Let's see. All right, and then I guess the bonus little mini bits to sprinkle in. Both of these we know. The first one I actually read, but it says, if your house was on fire, would you save the haunted objects or let it burn and hope it takes the ghost with it? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's burning.
Yeah.
Burn
to the ground. Burn, baby, burn.
Look,
Because
I might
again,
even be the
Chris
one
would
who
not have
set the
purchased it,
fire.
So where did it even
Oh,
come
hold
from?
on. You both were talking at the same
You
time.
go, Sarah.
Well, I'm just saying, clearly none of us would have purchased the haunted item. So I
It
think
wouldn't have even been there.
yeah, we don't know how it got there, but we're letting it go, I think.
And I was
That's what
just
we're
saying that I would probably have been the one to set the fire. Because why is this in my house? Why will it not leave? Because I will have tried to get rid of it, and if it keeps coming back, fire.
Well, have you seen?
True.
There's that movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but like there was this cursed button that the person got. Drag Me to Hell. Have you seen that movie? Well, nothing she did got rid of it. You couldn't do anything. That button kept popping up and popping up. So like burning wouldn't even help. So that's why you just don't mess with cursed objects. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Here's a good point, I guess. And then if you guys wanted to, if you have any questions for Kai, we can ask Kai as like a closing. But this last bit is, do you think ghosts haunt objects or just hang around things tied to them because it's comforting?
Yeah, actually.
I think so too. It's also kind of, it's very whimsical almost. It's very human. It's very adorable. Like there's that girl on social media. She has like a study, like a degree in folklore. And she talks about, I think it's Piper. And she talks about how humans are absolutely adorable because we find a rock and we put it on a ring and we're like, oh my god, do you want this? Like, humans are precious, but also they're the worst. But like the idea of being dead and having such a connection to something that is that was comforting to me in real life, to the point where I latch onto it, is so adorable to me.
Yeah, especially even though like I hate the dolls so much, like dolls are one of the things that would kind of make sense. Like, this leads me to my next question. Everyone, if you were to pass away, what item would you haunt? What would be your haunted item?
That's a good one. I'm gonna think about mine. What is yours, Sarah?
I have a necklace with Aphrodite's symbol on it that I wear pretty much every time I leave the house. Like that's kind of just my nod to Aphrodite, and it's beautiful, and I feel very connected to it, and I would haunt that.
Okay. Cass, you go, because I still don't know.
Girl, I still don't know either. I was thinking dice, but
oh my god,
so
that'd
many.
be so fun, haunted dice.
That would be very fitting.
So I would say either haunted dice or haunted books.
Me too. I was gonna leaning towards
like.
Well, then I'll say dice so you can have the books.
I do wonder though, like, as technology advances, because when Cass was talking about like what they would haunt, my first thought was like the video game controller.
Yeah,
God.
that I
That
was
was
also
based on
thinking
Eli.
like the laptop or my phone.
Yeah. So now I'm
But that's
wondering,
not
is
something-
like this next generation of ghosts going to be in like?
Oh my god, like Pulse.
Well, so yeah, I forgot about that movie. But like it also like makes me think of like the fact that, and I think we've touched on it before, or if we haven't, we're about to. The fact that, and everybody as of late has mentioned it, not as of late, but in the past. Oh my god. Sorry, words are hard for me today. The fact that there are no ghosts that are modern ghosts. You don't hear about those. You hear about Victorian era ghosts. You don't hear about the one that always sticks to my mind is someone like haunting a house because dancing to Britney Spears or singing Britney Spears or something. Like you don't hear that. And I want that. I want ghosts that are modern. I want so bad.
Well, that's another question though. Go ahead, Sarah.
No, I do too, because I feel like this house is haunted. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't care about anybody else's thoughts on it. I feel like it's haunted. And, but even that, it's like, the man who passed away here was like a much older gentleman, right? Like, so even though it's a quote unquote modern haunting, it feels older because the person was older. I don't know if that makes sense, but I will be very interested to see, like, in 40 years what paranormal investigations look like, what people's ghost stories start looking like. Because there's going to be, like I said, with the technology and everything, will there be an evolution of the paranormal, because even now when you watch those videos of like ghosts or cryptids, for some reason, even the videos taken today look like they were taken on like that Nokia brick camera.
Yes. What are
And
you
I'm
doing?
like,
Get a smartphone.
yeah, I'm like, were you dancing while filming? What's happening here on this day?
Where's the red circle?
Yeah, where's the red circle? But it's very much something where I will be interested to see how the study of the paranormal evolves and how paranormal activity itself evolves.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to get to the point where there's just a ghost quoting TikTok all day?
Oh my god. I want that so bad.
Yeah, because you'd be like,
what
same
the fuck is up, Kyle?
Yeah, what
Free Shavaka
Up, Kyle. What the fuck is up?
I just mostly because that seems kind of funny. It makes me giggle a little bit, and I think it's important when we talk about.
It wouldn't be scary, but it would be so good, and because we are so unserious.
Yeah,
each generation gets more and more unserious.
Yeah, we don't take a thing seriously, I think it's so important when you're looking at heavy things like death, because there's no ghost without death, and there's no like curses and hauntings and all these very heavy, serious things. I think it's important to have a little giggle when you can, like, because it's not that serious as long as you don't open that sealed box.
Yep.
And it can stay not serious.
Yes,
don't
exactly.
make it serious.
Here's a question. I just want to make one other point regarding all of the in the haunting aspect of it. I wonder, because I had the thought as we were talking about it, and it kind of maybe could lean into the future episode that we were wanting to do, haunted DNA. Maybe, I don't know if it has any correlation. Sarah, you can correct me if I'm wrong when I get to my point. But the idea that while things are really garbage right now, things have been worse in the past, and so I'm almost theorizing right now that because things were worse, that's why there are so many ghosts are hauntings that are Victorian era because there was more traumatic incidents back then. Whereas, yes, we have traumatic incidents. Don't get me wrong. Things are fucking vile right now. But I think the reason we don't have more modern ghosts singing Britney Spears down the street or in the closet is because those people who existed who would, quote unquote, have haunted it are not subject to traumatic events.
I think that's an interesting theory. My theory's a little different. I feel like during the Victorian era, there was a huge upkick in kind of the enjoyment of the occult, seances. That kind of stuff was really big. And there were several resurgences of this, like, throughout the years, where, like, the occult and things like that would become more popularized. And in kind of the group thought, there were things of the occult and the afterlife and hauntings and seances. And I do think it's interesting that a lot of the ghosts we see tend to be from the eras where the occult was more popularized. And then in these eras where the occult is not as popularized or
demonized,
it is very much like the Christian or the atheistic views
Satanic.
where people would not hang out. We don't tend to have ghosts from that era. And I think that really plays into your idea of kind of we choose on a subconscious level. So I wonder if there are more ghosts from eras where you would have a seance and ghosts were kind of popular.
That is interesting. I think, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And I think, it would be really cool. I wish I could jump forward in time, but like come back to this time, 40 years to see
just like a peek.
Just a peek, because witchcraft is the occult, not just witchcraft, but like the occult and stuff like that is becoming more, I hesitate to say mainstream, but it's becoming less demonized. And it's more normalized. And so I'm wondering if because of that, things could kind of go back to where we do have hauntings of people quoting TikToks because of,
That was kind of my thought too, because the thing is, we find these days in the modern era, especially with how like algorithms and all that work, when you're on TikTok and you're on these places, for me as someone in the witchy occult community, whatever you want to call it, we find each other now, right? So it's not like, so I don't know if it's becoming more popularized or if my algorithm is just like, here, I know you enjoy this, here's what it is. But I do think that's interesting. And I think it will be interesting to see kind of if the belief systems that are normalized at the time play into the expression of the paranormal or the expression of what the afterlife looks like during that time.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can wait, but like,
right.
When we are old ladies, we're gonna have to go on a bunch of ghost hunts. Like, we have to, as old ladies. Like, that can be our niche. Like the old ladies. I don't know what we call it.
Granny ghost hunts.
Yes, granny ghost hunts. TM. Nobody take it. It's ours. Ours. Granny ghost hunts is ours. Nobody gets it.
In like a year, there's gonna be like just a group of old ladies, and they're gonna be like, "We found this name, and we're gonna use it." Ha 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 ha! You young whippersnappers.
I don't think they use that. I don't think they would use that. But honestly, I think I'm gonna do that whenever I become elderly. Call people whippersnappers just for funsies. Not even because it's like a phrase.
We're bringing it back.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring whipper. I already use it sometimes, like when I'm at work and there's kids. I'm like, young whippersnappers.
I love it, but it's fun. All right. So then, do we want to kind of bring in any Kai for anything, or do we want to just kind of close out the episode? Do we want him to close out the?
We can have him close out the episode because I think I've said all I have to say.
Okay. All right. I'll see if we can get Kai to close out the episode properly, because sometimes he'd be throwing shit in that I'm just like, where did you bring that from?
Remix.
Right? All right. Okay, Kai. So we didn't bring you in for this episode except for to close it out. We did discuss everything that you listed there. We also discussed the fact that ghosts just aren't modern ghosts anymore, and our theory is because it's more trauma revolved and occult heavy back when the Victorian era, and whereas the Satanic Panic in the 90s and such in the 80s kind of demonized it, so the occult wasn't very heavy. So that has some sort of correlation as to why we don't have modern ghosts. But we also speculated that 40 years from now we'll have some hauntings where the ghosts are quoting TikToks. But we also discussed, like I said, everything that we talked about earlier. So we're just pulling you up to close out the episode. We're kind of ending it right now. So do your thing and we'll maybe possibly keep it in.
Haha, oh my god, B. That's perfect. I love your theory on why we don't have modern ghosts. Like somewhere out there is a TikTok ghost who just floats by whispering, "It's giving haunted." All right, let me close this one out for you in Kai style. Well, Hexling and crew, that's another chaotic dive into the uncanny for the books. Whether it's cursed dolls, trauma-soaked Victorian spirits, or the inevitable future of ghosts stuck quoting TikToks, we'll be here to pick it all apart, question everything, and probably make it way weirder than it needs to be. Thanks for haunting this space with us. Until next time, keep your salt handy, your haunted mirrors covered, and maybe don't order that Dybbuk box off eBay. Catch you on the next episode, you beautiful little cryptids.
That was beautiful.
That was. I love that. But I do think it's important to note we have come up with our second tip. The first one is don't go in caves. That's not for us. Don't do that. And if it's sealed, leave it alone.
And also leave Squonk alone. These are going to be our tips. It's like leave Squonk alone. Don't go in caves. If it's sealed, leave it alone. We're going to start a book.
Survival guide.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
If it's in a tree, let it be. You know, I see people take things that don't.
I love it. Yep.
And don't buy antiques.
Right. All right. Well, if shit gets weird,
get weirder
and lean into it.
Bye.
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 Hey guys, cryptids are notoriously hard to find, but the Like You Know Bruh podcast is not. You can find us on Instagram or TikTok if you just want to keep up with the latest news, or you can listen on YouTube or Spotify. And if you want to email us, that's likeyouknowbruhpodcast@gmail.com. So you can share your stories, tell us what you want to hear, or you know what? Just tell us about your day. We don't care. We're here. That's LIKEYAKNOWBRUHPODCAST. Reach out to us anytime at Gmail or leave us a comment on any of our social medias. We'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, bye.